Welcome to Reality Check with Rios. I got a very special guest, my second father, somebody who helped raise me, aceboymannie's father. And it is an honor to have him here because I get to ask him questions that I've always wanted to ask him for a reason. Yeah, we live. We are. I'm going. This is Manny right here. Yeah, come around. And so just introducing Mohammed, Manny's father, my father, someone who is a staple in so many young men and young women's lives in Long Beach and LA. And I just want to say thank you for being here. But my dad,
You're
Mohammed.
welcome.
It feels so weird calling you Mohammed because I'm always saying Pops.
Yeah, Pops is fine.
So this is my Pops here. And this is basically going to be, I'm going to ask you some questions that I've always was curious about, you know, maybe never had the time to ask, or just things that I'm interested in. And also like your origin story, like how, like trials and tribulations of how you came to be who you are today, and like the trials and tribulations and life lessons that you've learned from. So my father, Mohammed, where were you born?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Little town called Wewoka, Indian town.
Indian town.
Yeah.
Do you have Indian family?
Of course.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when were you born?
1947.
1947. And when did you make your way from Oklahoma to LA?
1959, we ventured out here from Oklahoma.
Okay. What was it like in Oklahoma at that time?
Like living in Africa, man, you know, summertime, no shoes, running around. School time, we had shoes.
Yeah.
Bare knuckles, man, for a point.
For a point.
Yeah.
And it was a good living?
Well, it wasn't a bad living at one point, but then before we came out here from Oklahoma, it got kind of rough for my brother and I.
Okay.
You know, because my father, he was off doing whatever he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, she was working for white people living in, so we was out in the outer skirts of town.
Okay.
New Edition.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually Old Edition. And my father moved a couple of houses out there. And my brother and I, we was pretty much on our own.
Okay.
You know, but we had people, neighbors around that kind of looked out for us and stuff like that.
Community-wise.
Community-wise, yeah.
Okay. And so coming here to LA, was it a shell shock? Like was it like a big difference, or what was that like?
Well, the first thing that was shocking to me was we left in the wintertime in Oklahoma with snow.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to California, we seen palm trees and green grass, and that was a shock.
Like, wait, is it still wintertime?
It's still wintertime. December of '59, we came out here.
Really?
So it was from Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, still snow on the ground in the mountains and all of that.
Yeah.
We in sunny California, people with short sleeve shirts, and I said, wow, this is amazing.
Amazing.
California. You know, I don't know where we were, but you know.
Yeah. But you ended up in LA.
Well, no, we ended up in Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Yeah, that's where we
Straight from Oklahoma, straight to Long Beach.
Straight to Long Beach. We had relatives in Long Beach.
Okay.
So we lived with them for, we got a foot on, my parents got their feet on the ground.
Yeah.
And, we took it from there, and things got better than they were in Oklahoma.
Right.
You know, but hey, it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that.
It wasn't easy.
Well, you know, even as children coming up, it wasn't the best of life, but it was a life, you know. But we started from scratch because we left everything in Oklahoma when we left. My dad just up and left.
Just like today is the day, we gone.
Why, I don't know.
Okay.
He left like somebody was chasing him.
Which could possibly be.
It could be, because he moved a couple of houses out there in where we were living at. And
yeah.
He had white people to do it, to move them.
Okay.
Down the street and set them up on the property, and I guess he might have fell short on paying them. And they wasn't feeling it. That's my speculation.
And when they not feeling it back then, it's a different kind of repercussion.
Yeah, so he ran about it. I don't know if they threatened him or what, but I know we left everything, stopped and got some food at my grandma's house, and hit the road.
Hit the road. Like, I'm just trying to envision the thought of, like, at that time, driving from Oklahoma as a black family to California, no GPS, no, like, guidance as in, oh man, like, that's crazy.
Well, see, my father, he was in the Navy.
Okay.
And not only that, he moved around a lot. Where, I don't know, because I was young, but
Yeah.
he was on the road, and he was moving around. But he knew how to get here.
Okay.
And it wasn't any problem.
Yeah.
But on the way out here, man, it was we ran out of everything. Food. So we went on the Indian reservation. They fed us.
The Indian reservation. Really?
My dad knew where to go.
Oh, my goodness.
Like he had a radar.
Yeah.
He knew where to go and get things done.
He was a man's man. He said, I know exactly where to be, when I need to be there.
He went to the Indian reservation, man. They took us in and fed us, blah, blah, blah. And went the road and got short on money. Started selling his suits at the service station to get gas money. To get us to where we needed to be, and we made it.
And you made it. And you made it to family was out here. Family was out here in Long Beach. So all the babies are really Long Beach natives for sure. Like, you are Long Beach based.
Camila and Kareem, and possibly Mansour, were born in Inglewood.
Okay, yeah. He was Inglewood, like, and then the west side.
Inglewood.
Yeah,
okay. Off of Century, and then off of Eucalyptus over by Rogers Park. And then we left Inglewood after some incidents in my life.
Yeah.
And came back to Long Beach.
Okay.
I left Long Beach in 1969 and moved to L.A. and came back to Long Beach in 1979.
So 10 years. So 10 years in L.A.
In L.A. area.
So I always wondered, like, as a kid, I'm jumping a little bit because we're going to go back to childhood in Long Beach, but I remember coming to your restaurant in L.A. when we were kids.
Yeah.
And it was like the comedy club, like the stuff at the
Jazz club.
Yeah. Exactly. And so when I was a kid, we don't know nothing. We just going along. You guys help us do this, put this in here. And me, Kareem, and Manny were working. Khaled and Nisa just running around being kids.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing you talking to all the other men, all the other people in the vicinity or the area. And it was like, damn, my pops is a boss. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody is coming up to you, not even at the business, not even at the restaurant, but just everybody that was walking up, the way that they presented as they walked up was like with the utmost respect. And it was just like, oh, shoot. Entrepreneurship, business owner. Like, and I think that was my first introduction to owning a business.
Well, I always wanted to be an independent person, working for myself and not for anyone else. And I think the last kind of real job I had was General Motors. I worked for them for like 5 years. And I left there and I joined the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
Then they started teaching self-help. Independence, so that kind of sparked the interest with me, and I did that. First little business was on Broadway in Los Angeles, a burger joint. Then I had friends, they had a business on Central and 108 back then. It's called Steak and Take, Shabazz Steak and Take.
Okay.
Friend of mine, Anzar, and Frank J, they gave me that business. They bought the Philly sandwich from Philadelphia. And brought it to Watts and gave me that business. And that was my second business, and then from there I had a few other businesses. Long Beach, I had the original Mr. Pups. Used to be on Anaheim and Martin Luther King there. That was a hangout. Back in the days.
Back in the day.
All the black people go there after anything, Mr. Pups. So I got a hold of that one and ran that one for a while. And they redeveloped that area and wiped all that out and put shopping plazas up there and everything. And I did the first hand car wash in Long Beach right there, 17th and Martin Luther King behind Polly.
Oh, right behind Polly.
Yeah, I opened that up.
You opened that up?
First hand car wash in Long Beach.
What?
Yeah.
Cause that car wash, I'm not sure if it's still open, but it's still open. It was open all throughout our childhood.
Yeah, a friend of mine, George McGinnis, he owned that property now.
Okay.
He bought it from Miss King. It was my landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought it outright. And he's just sitting on. He did it for a while, but he didn't want to do it any longer. He just owned the property and just his station to hang out in his retirement.
Right.
From the phone company. And that's where you'll find him. Right there.
Man.
Running stuff.
Stuff. And that always opened I've always been, my father, my dad, Billy,
Yeah.
he's always been a worker. You know what I mean? Just 9 to 5, go to his stuff. But I had that example. And then I had this example. You know what I mean? Which gave me the best of both worlds. Being able to grasp the differences in ways of living. That doesn't mean that this is wrong or this is right, but there's other ways it's not just one option. And being introduced to Islam and learning the different ways of serving and praying versus my grandma's Christianity, just Baptist, and then seeing this, it opened my, knowing you and your family opened my eyes up to so many different things that I wouldn't have been privy to if you had not been in my life.
Yeah.
And so I want to know how you went from Oklahoma to Long Beach to LA. And then, because I've seen the pictures, you're the first person, and then my Uncle Wayne is always telling me, oh yeah, Big Mo was the man. He always had it going on. He had this. And the one thing everybody says, you're the first person with a Rolls Royce in the hood.
Yeah, well. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I had it,
You had a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I had in 70, beginning of 79, I had a 78 Rolls Royce Silver Cloud.
Going into the 80s with a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, going into the 80s with a Rolls Royce. I had a few cars. I had the Rolls, I had a Jeep, I had a Mercedes that I subleased to a little friend of mine's. Victor, he was Muslim. He was a progressive guy, knew how to handle his business, and that really turned him up.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
He had a crew also.
I'm moving the groove down.
Yeah, he was like me. He had a crew also hanging around him. People that I trained in the FOI class. Some of the young junior FOI. He was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
He turned out to be
the fruit of Islam.
Yeah, he turned out to be a real
heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter, guy. Yeah, he's in Colorado now, doing his from up north to Colorado, and he's still doing his thing. But yeah, then also had the fish market. I'm pretty sure you remember that.
Yeah, P&G. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a great business. First really great business that I had, and until George Bush and the Iraqi war.
Yeah,
everything went crazy.
So what was that? What about that was the negative effect?
Well, the cost.
The cost, okay. Everything
the cost was crazy, because I subleased the business
Mhm.
from another foreign Muslim,
Yeah.
and he was charging me ridiculous price.
Oh, Mahmoud's dad.
Yes.
Mahmoud's father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hussein.
Hussein. Yeah.
He was charging some ridiculous price, and then I had to pay the landlord a ridiculous price for the property.
Right.
And then the cost of operating was ridiculous. But for 3 or 4 years, it was
booming,
holding its own. And it took a turn, and just too costly to maintain for me.
Right.
Because for him, Hussein, it would have been okay because the $4,000 that I was paying him, he didn't have to pay it to anyone.
Exactly.
That was
just
gravy,
pocketing that.
Gravy for him over in Lebanon. So I had to get out of there.
Got to get out of there.
Had to get out of there.
Where was your brother during this whole process? What was his pathway in this whole?
Well, he always held a job. He worked for the city of Long Beach until he retired.
Okay.
From there.
Okay.
He took a total different path from he called it secure path. I was always adventurous, always sticking my head into something, whether it worked or not.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
We're going to find out one way or another.
What's up in there. So I took that was my path, and his path was a more secure path.
Right.
And it worked out for him. It's still working out for him. My path still working out for me, but it's still a grind. I'm still adventurous. And I'm still trying to invent stuff.
Right.
In my life, at my age, it don't stop.
It don't stop.
If you see Warren Buffett and all them cats, he got all the money in the world.
Yeah, they ain't sitting down.
They still won't stop. I'm not saying I'm Warren Buffett, nowhere near. I really can't stop.
Right, but shoot, if he's still going, I definitely got to keep going.
I got to keep the pedal to the metal, man. No doubt. I'm adventuring into other things right now. I got some things I've worked on for years. I'm going to get to that one right there.
We're going to get to this.
Yeah.
We're going to get to this.
My mother's brother, my mom was always telling me, your Uncle English, he got the best barbecue sauce, blah, blah, blah. I said, I got to find out about it. So I would call him up on the phone back in Oklahoma City, and I tell him, you got to come out here and show me about that good barbecue sauce.
Right.
My sister was telling me about.
Right.
I said, I'll tell you. He was a preacher back there in Oklahoma, so he finally came out and showed me how to.
When?
I was always doing it with other people's barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
The store-bought barbecue, doctor it up, blah, blah, blah. He said, no, you got to find your own way, man. You got to do what they do. So he showed me how to go from scratch. And I worked on it for 25 years or so.
25 years.
Trying to master that product. And I'm pretty sure, I'm there.
Mo Better Gourmet Barbecue Sauce. Hey, I'm so proud of you, Pops. I really, really am.
Read the whole thing, Jason. What is it, Mo Better?
Mo Better Gourmet Barbecue Sauce. You need the best. Mo Better taste the best.
You wipe your glasses
you tried the best.
Yeah.
Mo Better taste the best. So, is this mine?
You tried the rest. Mo Better taste the best.
Mo Better taste the best. I'm blind. You tried the rest. Mo Better taste the best. Is this mine?
It sure is.
How much is it
My
cost?
son bought it to you.
I know he gonna charge me. You little scapegoat. I know you gonna charge me. You a
That
scapegoat.
one right there, Jason, is the spicy peach barbecue sauce.
This is the spicy peach?
Yeah.
Well, I know how to get down on the ribs, so.
Yeah. I had some on chicken last night. Yeah.
I'm gonna get down.
Khaled and Camila did some beer chicken on the grill.
Really?
Yeah, with the can, and I put some on it.
Maybe Manny will come over here and grill it up, and I'll use it. I'm not gonna waste it on my grilling.
He gonna have it right.
Yeah, he will. He doing a little something. Oh, but let me get to it. Yes, the business and all that is great. So I wanted to ask you about, because your upbringing, you went through. Was it a draft? Muhammad Ali was in the draft? Were
I
you
was married.
of age?
I was of age for the Vietnam War,
Okay.
but I was married during the Vietnam War.
Okay.
So that dropped me out of the
Oh,
lottery, you know.
okay.
But I had already heard certain things about the war and my understanding about that war. In my mind, I said I wouldn't go, but I was safe. But I said it in my mind, but I'll leave. They came after him. He had a choice. They didn't come after me.
Yeah.
And I would think that I wouldn't go. Now, I might not have been able to take the break. Now, I might have went, but I said I wouldn't go. I had a brother that did go. I told him not to go, Raymond. And he was from Oklahoma. He came out here and stopped and stayed with me for a while. Came a couple
Older or younger?
A little bit older than me.
Okay.
Outside of my family.
Okay.
My father's adventure.
Okay.
You know, and he stayed with us in Long Beach for a while, going to Camp Pendleton for the
training, like the boot
training.
camp.
Yeah, boot camp, exactly, yeah. The man don't go, so he was a little fuzzy about it. So he went. When he came back from boot camp on his way to being shipped out, his man was totally on board with the war.
Ready to go,
talking crazy.
Was it you think it was the boot camp training and the brainwashing, maybe?
Absolutely. Gave him a purpose for that war in his mind.
Because that's not what he was on before he went.
He was a little undecided, but he knew he had drafted him, he had to go.
Yeah.
You know, so I told him don't go. So he went, and time they got there, his whole infantry was wiped out.
What?
Everybody in his whole infantry. That's probably the only time that did happen. And when it did happen, he was part of it.
He was a part of it.
Of that one.
So his whole platoon, like his whole
platoon got wiped out.
Really?
Really.
I'm sorry to hear. This is not something, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
This is a new story.
Did you go when you was in D.C.? I think.
Yeah, I went to the Vietnam Memorial.
And found his on the wall.
The whole story of what happened.
What? What's the name of the platoon?
I think it's 67th. Or
the 67?
I'm not really.
What?
I think 67 or something like that.
And so was it when they landed on the beach or whatever?
No, they went into action.
Oh my God!
They went out and didn't come back.
They went into that jungle and didn't come back out.
And the whole platoon and never came out of it alive.
Now, dang, that brings up a whole different side of it. Is like, how did that process, like for the families? You know what I mean? Like the families of these young boys, they went out there and like no answers or nothing, just like, nope, they're not coming back no more. They're gone.
Death is death, man. You know, they gave his mother, wasn't my mom, but
his
dad
mom
was my dad was his dad.
Yeah.
I think they gave him $10,000 at the time, and burial, and that's history.
That's history.
All his memories for me.
Yeah.
The last time I saw him alive was when he left to go to a boot camp.
Was that a normal occurrence at the time? Like, just as you're going through your walk of life, just hearing like other family members or other people, neighbors or in the community, just like losing people in the Vietnam War? Like it was affecting everybody?
Well, it did.
It did?
You know, I can't recall if I remember anyone else that lost their life. Wait a minute. Yeah. A guy named Henry McKinley. I think he lost his life over there.
Okay.
He was a paratrooper. And Dwayne Scott, he went, but he was gung-ho. I think he was in ROTC and all of that. So
yeah.
he went in and
he was ready to go from the jump.
Yeah. And he came back.
Oh, he came back?
He's here. He's still around.
Okay.
Dwayne, Buddy, Scott, you know, went to school, Franklin together. And he was a high-strung brother anyway, you know. And he was all into it. I think he might have been a sergeant, an officer in the military or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and he returned. And some other people went and, you know, they came back. And some came back, they were shell-shocked.
Yeah.
You know?
I heard about them coming back drug addicted as well.
Absolutely. You know, that was over there, I think that Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Yeah.
That was all about who gonna control the flow of drugs across that Ho Chi Minh Trail.
And that was that was heroin. That was the poppies.
That was
the
poppy seed. That was the basic of that war. They say,
was the poppy seed.
Who's going to control that?
Oh, so that's okay. So the movie American Gangster with Denzel, he was going to Vietnam to get the straight from the source.
Straight from the source.
Making crazy money. And that's a true story.
That's a true story, and that's a true life. America, there's nothing Vietnam had to offer Americans.
Right.
As a country. But that poppy, they stop the spread of communism. You want to stop the spread of communism? Go fight China.
Go fight. Exactly. Right.
You know, if you want to stop it, or Russia.
Yeah, what is stopping them going to do?
Yeah, nothing. and we couldn't stop them. Anyhow, we had to leave.
We had to leave. And they say that they try to paint the picture as that's a war that they won. Like nothing was on the surface, nothing was accomplished. But they ulterior motives that they had was accomplished. Just like the weapons of mass destruction. And we're going over here. It's just a tale of the time, really.
It wasn't there. It's all about oil. That was about
poppy
drugs.
Seeds.
That was about oil and control of that area over there. And, it was about greed.
And then they sent back the young men, came back. Some came back fine. Some came back shell-shocked. Some came back addicted to heroin.
Absolutely. I remember a guy was at a business that I used to work at around the 4th of July or something.
Uh-huh.
Big guy, black guy. Unaware that what was going on in his mind. There's a couple of them came, I think they came to purchase a car or so.
Okay.
And I threw a cherry bomb or something. You know, and I must have shook him out of his shoes.
I see where this knucklehead get it. I see where they get it. Oh, sure.
I must have shook him up, man. Boy, he big guy too.
It sent him back.
It brought back memories.
Brought back the memories.
In war, man.
Right.
He must have jumped out of his shoes, man. And he came over and said, man, he said, don't do that, man. You know, Big O Hughes got sick something.
Yeah.
You don't do that. I said, man, you know, we just got out of the war. I said, oh, man, I'm just...
Didn't even put that into perspective. My bad. Wasn't even thinking about that.
I wasn't even thinking about anything like that. I'm just throwing stuff around.
Yeah.
You know? You just happen to be there. Yeah. But that it wasn't no joke, man. That guy was upset.
Yeah.
You know, him and his buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my grandmother's oldest brother being I don't know what service he was in, but he served.
Marvin?
No, that was my uncle, but my grandmother's oldest brother, Bill, was my Uncle Bill. He, like, I remember him smiling. I remember him being like cordial, but I always remember him always being straight, just like a knife. You know what I mean? Like everything was about business, straight edge. It was no fooling. Like it was no fooling. It was just serious dude. Yeah. And he would put his uniform on. It was no joking time. Like
during the war, after the war.
After the war, he was an older man at this time.
But he still wore his uniform.
He would wear his uniform for a certain like funerals or like occasions.
Veteran stuff.
And when he would put that on, it was like
mindset.
Yeah. Get out the way. Like I remember that very much so. Like the effects at the war and how serious it was, and Uncle Bill was very like not joking. Okay, so we talked about that. Let's get into, you said you went from GM, General Motors, and you went into the Nation of Islam, or you found the Nation of Islam.
Well, I found it before when I heard the teachers when I lived in Long Beach before I moved to LA.
How did you hear them? Like what at that time, how would you hear the teachings?
My friends, a guy named Billy Richards, he's gone now.
Okay.
He's Kirkpatrick, a big preacher's grandson.
Okay.
So they had a mosque above the supermarket on Martin Luther King there back. It was California back in those days. So I used to see those brothers with the bow ties and walking down the street, real serious like. They looked strange to me, walking like that in the unisons, and they go there in front of the grocery store telling people to come up, and so Billy said, hey, they called me Heavy. That was my nickname. He gave it to me. I think, he gave me that name.
Really?
Heavy, Billy Richard. And Heavy, don't ever go up there. Those people get you up there and brainwash you.
Stay away from them.
Yeah. So, I'm out here from the country, man. I don't know what about. I know my brains is in my head.
Yeah.
And they going to get me up there and they look weird. People over there looking like that. I said, they're going to get me up there and brainwash me. They going to go in my head.
Yeah. Like, what they going to do? Like, going to scramble my brain?
They going to get me up there to do something to my brains. So that was enough. I said, oh, no. So I walk on the other side of the street. Said,
right.
Come on up, here's the blah, blah. I said, yeah, be back,
Were they suited and booted back in the day too? Suited and booted.
That was their uniform. The suit was the FOI's uniform other than the FOI suit.
Yeah.
You went in a FOI suit every day. If you wasn't working, you wore a suit like a businessman.
Even if you're not working.
Even if you're not working.
You're still in a suit.
You're still in a suit.
I think Technique is FOI from Long Beach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, and was no relaxing, like a casual whatever.
Yeah.
You go casual, be in the house or going somewhere, but in the street, ready to go.
Right.
Most of the time we wake up ready to go. That's what I mentioned. Ready to go every day. When you get up out the bed, FOI, ready to go do what? Train, sell paper, do what you do, blah, blah, blah. And that's how that worked.
Well, how did they get you though? Because you was avoiding. You was going across the street.
Let me get to that.
Okay.
I had a barber, Brother Robert. Cut my hair. And he get in his chair, man, and I always thought I was quick and thinking and stuff. And so whatever I said, he had an answer to it. I said, man, this cat here, I can't ever say nothing.
Can't get a word in.
Get over on him. Whatever I say, he got an answer for it. So that kind of say, this guy is sharp. So then I lived next door to a family, Geneva and Johnny, me and my wife. So we were right next door to us on Martin Luther King, California Avenue. And she would always come over. My wife being her first, start talking to her. And come on, hey, Brother Leroy, taste this. Giving me a slice of bean. I said, bean pie. What's that? I tasted it. I said, man, this is, ooh.
Why I ain't never had this before?
Yeah, give me I said, have a piece of carrot cake. Carrot cake? I said, carrots? Wow. Then come help me taste some broccoli and cauliflower baked the way they was cooking. I said, yeah, look at my wife and said, we ain't eating like, where this come from? She said, this is food of the black man, the gods.
Yeah.
Blah, I said, wow. So she got to me, then I hanging around my older brother-in-law. He always dressed good because he was a chef, so I tried to be like him.
Yeah.
We was married to two sisters. So I wore a suit before I became, when we were going out. And blah, blah, blah. And I always tried to dress so she'd come home and tell me how sharp I am and blah, blah, blah. This, that, and other. Her husband, Johnny, he talked to him. He spoke with authority and had a deep voice and everything. And talk about the black man is God and blah, blah, blah. White man is the devil and this, that, and other. So I started reading the paper. They give it to me and I'm reading. Now, white friends I used to hang out with because I worked for a Jewish guy. I used to hang out with his family, go water skiing and whatever out to his house and hang out to pool race cars up in Signal Hill, back in the days.
Yeah.
Cross the motorcycles and scooters, so him and his girl would come over and me and my wife at that time would party, hang out, drinking beer and doing whatever we do, And, my wife, she wanted to slow me down, my first wife. So
okay.
She joined the Nation of Islam.
Oh.
She joined. So
okay.
I told her, I said, hey. I said, you doing that? She said, yeah. I said, them sisters can't be going out and hanging out and drinking and going to clubs and this. I said, what you going to do about that?
Mm-hmm.
I said, because I'm not stopping.
Is this truck gonna keep moving?
Yeah, that was the whole purpose, was to slow me down from being so active.
She thought joining was gonna get to you.
Slow me down.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she would go to the MGT classes and blah, 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 blah. I'm still out there hanging out in the streets, you know. We were young,
Yeah.
both of us, you know. And, I'm over here, she blah, so we squabble and carry on, whatever. Arguments, young people, you know.
Yeah.
And, one thing led to another, you know, and she had me to write a letter. She didn't have me to do it.
Mm-mm.
You had to write a letter to join the Nation of Islam. You wrote this letter to Master Farad Muhammad, who they say was Allah in the person, God.
Right.
So the letter had to be written perfectly to be accepted by God, supposedly. I don't know, man. I'm still a spook candidate.
Yeah.
You know, a space cadet. So I write the letter, you know, messed up a few times, and you know, I write a letter, and I think I got it right. I told my wife, I said, look, take this to the mosque when you go and have a minister look at it and see if it's good enough to go.
Yeah.
So she took the letter. I'm really thinking I'm writing this letter to God now. You understand what I'm saying? So she took the letter and she gave it to the minister. And when she came back, I said, where's my letter at? She said, I gave it to the minister to send in.
Was it ready for it to sit in?
I said, you did what?
I said, I want him to look at it.
I said, you did what? She said, I gave it to the minister so he could send it in. I said, no, you didn't. Oh, man. So, you know, that teed me off, man. I said, oh, man, I know better than that.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm still, you know, I'm thinking everything's what it is. You know, this is the letter to God. You just send it in on me without me wanting to. You know, and now he got me on the radar.
Right. Well, that's my name on the list.
So one thing led to another, you know, so we wound up going our own separate ways.
She sent the rough draft off.
Yeah. We wound up going our own separate ways. So she went her way, I went my way. That's when I left and went to LA.
Okay. So that was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Broke the camel's back.
Okay.
That when I moved to LA. You know, moved right up into the jungle, right there on August and Stevely.
Right.
Apartments. It wasn't like it is now. But it wasn't but real nice people up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice area, Baldwin Hills.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't ghetto hills at that time.
Nah.
You know, and real progressive people live up in there. Beautiful girls and everything.
People don't know those apartments.
Are huge.
They're huge.
Huge.
Big
a lot of
floor plans.
Space. A lot of floor space up in there.
Bigger than this.
Yeah. And yeah. Huge.
Living rooms, dining rooms, family rooms.
All of that.
Like, for real.
For rich people, progressive black people. Before them, I guess white people was up in there. But, you know, that was Baldwin Hills. That's the name of it. And I moved there and I met up my Ibn and Akila's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I went right past Akila's mom, but that's what kind of broke the straws back too.
Yeah.
Akila's mom with my first relationship.
Yeah.
And Akil came into the picture. Then I moved on to LA and met my other girl, Sandra and Sandra was their mom, and Keela and Ibn and Hakeem.
Right.
And I was at downtown LA, Sandra and I, paying a ticket at the
courthouse.
Mm-hmm. And some brothers was out there selling newspapers, Muhammad Speaks. So I bought one, of course, and he said, hey, why don't you let me invite you out to the mosque, come and visit us. I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Sandra went there that night, got a brother named Paul.
Wait, how many years later is it from the letter to this?
The letter was, you say, maybe a year or two.
Okay.
Year or two, at least. So he invited me out. And I came and he said, hey, why don't you hang around after the teachers and watch the brothers drill.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. I hung around and watched the FOI drill, man. I never seen anything like that in my life.
So what's FOI drill? What's the drill?
Marching like
Oh,
the Army.
marching. Like, okay.
Like the Army, you know.
Okay.
And the way they did the face movements and everything, you know, preparatory command, you know, the black men marching down in perfect harmony. You know, he never said, choop, 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 moving fast, choop, 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 choop. You see left feet, they step to the left like choop, 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 they snap.
Yeah.
Right feet, all the heads go to the right, they snap like that.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Ooh, wait.
Sharp.
I never seen the United States do anything like that in their military drilling. You know?
Exactly.
And I knew that was special. I said, man, I got to be a part of that. That's when I went in. They asked me upstairs, where you write the letter? And I said, I already wrote my letter. My wife sent it in before I wanted her to. I didn't hear anything about that letter until then.
Until then.
In L.A.
Right.
You know, so that really spooked me. I said, oh, man, God knew.
He knew the mission was already put in.
Yeah, he knew, you know, and so that. Plus, I read Message to the Black Man, all Elijah Muhammad's book, and I've checked out books at the library, and I read a book that said it's going to be a leader that's going to come and be the black man. He won't be any doubt about it. They use a couple of vocabulary words I can't recall right now, saying it'll be undoubtedly.
Right.
You know, I said, man, that's him, Elijah Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me.
Yeah.
You know, could have been Marcus Garvey for somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Read that book.
Right.
Noble Drew Ali or anybody, but to me, I read it. It was a book out the library, and I said, "That's him."
Noble Drew Ali is from New York. The New York
all East Coast people. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, he was a Muslim too. Moore.
The Moore, exactly. Yeah. Noble Drew Ali. Yeah, I read a book of his.
Yeah, so I jumped in, both feet. Still working at General Motors. Worked my buddy of mine, Wally. He was working there also. We all wrote it. Long Beach at General Motors, going back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was, I had a foreman, a young white foreman, named Earl Ice for General Motors.
Okay.
And he liked him some Johnson. That's what I was one of his best guys, man, you know. He'd come down there and hang out with me, talk, blah, 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 blah. And he dipped Copenhagen stuff. He asked me if I wanted some. I said, yeah.
Dipping tobacco?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Give me some of that.
Yeah. What did I do that for? He came back, he checked on me. I said, man, I'm sick. You know, he busted up. He got me a relief band. He said, he go on up to Maddox, you know. So I went up to Maddox, man, I laid down for a while and whatever. And cause you're on the assembly line, you can't.
Yeah, you can't
can't take no breath, you know. Each car, blah 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 blah. Next, blah 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 blah.
Back to back
for the whole time. And you know, I was one of his best guys. He came and said, "Look, Johnson, when I get to be the superintendent, I'm gonna make you a foreman."
What?
You know, like that. So, yeah. I joined the nation, man. I'm talking to Alaskan, this Mexican guy. He was on Bob Lasky's white guy. He used to eat his burritos. He used to bring them. He lived in East LA.
Yeah.
Had the best burritos back then. He used to bring them and sell them at the job. So Pancho, this one Mexican guy, he was a relief guy too. I was telling him about white man, blah, blah, blah. So he went up and went to, hey, to the foreman and everybody. He said, Johnson said, y'all the devil.
Pancho to lift the dress up. He done revealed the truth.
I said, man, don't be playing with them people like that. What's wrong with you? You know, he said, Diablo.
El Diablo.
You know, so
oh shoot,
I quit hanging out. I gave Earl Ice a cold shoulder to come around. He asked Bird, my relief guy, he said, "What's up with Johnson? He used to be one of my best guys and friendly and everything."
Yeah.
And Bird, I guess he might have told him what had happened. So they used to all be gathered down there. They watching me over with someone, you know.
Yeah.
At least I thought they.
Now you're on the radar.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, watching me. So They got me out of there, put me in remote places. Go sweep down the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You know, I swept the whole railroad track all the way down, you know, just like the work I do.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know, they isolated me from the population.
Yeah.
So they sent me way up there in the top of the plant.
Keep the intelligent Negro, the independent Negro away from the other.
I'm away from everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. Put me up top of the plant, just raising the trunk up and closing it, raising the trunk up and closing it. And I knew they was watching me. I said, they want to see if I'm going to do each one of these trunks, raise them up and close it, open it back up.
Mm-hmm.
I raised it up, open, close it back up, and then finally I got injured some kind of way.
Mm-hmm,
So they had me driving cars off the line. I couldn't do that, so that was the last straw. The superintendent came and got me.
Yeah.
Said, come on, Johnson.
Take the long walk.
Walking me up to medics. And so he said, damn it, Johnson, what you want me to do? When he said that, he was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And I started laughing. I said, look, it's not funny. It's not funny. you know. So he walked me up, and they sent me out through medic. But even before the end, like, I think I was the very first person. I know at General Motors, I was the very first person that celebrated Dr. King's birthday.
Really?
I think so. Because we were all at General Motors. And anniversary came around. Birthday, so they say, y'all coming in tomorrow? I say, you gonna celebrate Dr. King? I say, I am, yeah. So I literally stayed at home. Because I thought they were also.
Yeah.
So I got back. I said, what happened? Freddie told me, man, everybody's up there gathered around the gate. I asked him, was he going to go in? And they all went in.
Oh,
everybody
man.
went in, you know, so I'm the only one out.
Yeah.
So I get back, you know, they sent me upstairs to the superintendent's office. Johnson, why did you miss work yesterday? I said, I was celebrating Dr. King's birthday. He said, we don't celebrate that. I said, I know it. You know.
Well, I do.
Yeah. I said, I know it. He said, well, go on downstairs to work. You know, so I went downstairs to work. Then that other story, they finally walked me up to the medics and walked me out. That was the end of General Motors.
Yeah.
5 years of service. And I left out of there and started my entrepreneurship with myself.
Okay.
You know, selling papers, selling fish, selling jewelry, selling artwork, traveling all around the country. That was an experience that I think every black man should experience.
Which part? The
whole Nation of Islam experience, man.
Oh, really?
That right alone freed my mind from getting all my information from one source
to
a source that looked like me.
Yeah.
And being doubtful of the one that didn't look like me.
Yeah.
Not having any confidence in it.
Yeah.
You know. And basing that on the life of my ancestors that they had to endure with those people.
Exactly.
I didn't like it, you know.
It rubbed you the wrong way just off the jump.
Oh, yeah. At that point, I wanted to free myself from it, and Elijah Muhammad gave me that opportunity to look the other way and have my authority coming from something that looked like me.
That represented you.
And rather than something that didn't look like me and it wasn't fair. So I did that, you know. And I think that every black man in America should have, at some point, directly and not indirectly, been involved in the Nation of Islam. Because if you wasn't involved in the Nation of Islam, you still indirectly fell under influences being African American.
Exactly.
Of what those teachers was all about, with Malcolm X and Farrakhan and Muhammad Ali. Everybody saw those people. The media just saw them. So they talked
because they was indirectly preaching to you, teaching you the ways anyway.
You just got it indirectly, you know? So that kind of gave you an independent thinking black people. When you start seeing different things sparking up like Panther Party and US Organization, SNCC, and all those organizations, and all that stuff came up out of the Nation of Islam. People that came in, heard those teachings, Ron Karangan, Huey Newton, all of them went out and started their own movement, feeding the people, blah, blah, blah. All that came directly from the Nation of Islam because they didn't exist before.
It didn't. And you got people that will talk against the nation or talk against Black Panthers or this and that, and they still getting a WIC voucher.
Yeah.
There is no WIC voucher without the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party. It doesn't exist. You don't get your milk. You don't.
It's like Danny Bakewell. He do that Crenshaw thing annually.
Yeah.
Block off the street.
Yeah, they just did that. It was just this Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Muslim.
Taste the Bayou.
He was FOI. He left out and started Brotherhood Crusade. Look where he's at now from those teachers. Everybody can do it, but he did it.
Is that the brother from the Sentinel? The magazine, the newspaper? The Sentinel.
He bought the Sentinel.
Right.
He owned it. But he started off with the Brotherhood Crusade right over there on Broadway, had a little storefront. After he left out the Nation, well, he didn't really leave out, but he didn't disassociate himself with it because he knew all the top officials and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, he started, became a multimillionaire. You see him?
Yeah.
And that's all sparked from the Nation.
That all sparked from the Nation. And the Nation became under attack.
Well, yeah, I wasn't there for those two particular attacks,
okay.
62 and 65 after the Watts riot.
Mm-hmm.
They had a minister up there. That's when 62. That's when they just came and shot the mosque up for no reason at all, just because they was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother that gave me the Shabazz steak and take, Anzar William, he got paralyzed from that.
From the mosque
incident, getting shot at 62.
Really?
And Ronald Stokes, he was secretary, he got killed. So, and a bunch of them got wounded, and Anzar couldn't walk, he was in a wheelchair, but his mind was brilliant, man.
Yeah.
That brother there was, he rubbed his head, man. He think of brilliant businessman.
There's still Shabazzes
all around.
All around.
Yeah, still Shabazzes all around, but it's not like it was when the glory of the Nation of Islam. After 75, the businesses started diminishing because a new leader jumped on board, W.D. Mohammed. And he wasn't having it where the FOI and MGT just being slaves for the officials.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lived in the hills and Mercedes-Benz and Cadillac.
And you living down here.
You down there can hardly pay your rent, man. These cats driving in the mess. Yeah, and you happy to see them, too, because it look like you growing, you doing something. Black people.
Yeah.
And they were officials for the Organized Movement. He lived in a mansion, too.
Right.
Had a few of them all around him, but that was our leader.
That was the one. Yeah, exactly.
He's supposed to be taken care of. But those are our leaders out here, they supposed to be taken care of. They're getting things happening in L.A., and they did happen. We gave it one of the biggest events, black events that L.A. ever seen. That there haven't been anything since then.
What was this?
It was at the Shrine Auditorium.
Okay.
It was some kind of a bazaar.
Is that by USC?
Yes.
The Shrine Auditorium?
Right there.
You know the Shrine Auditorium? I'm going to take you by it. It's amazing.
It's owned by Shriners. It's called the Shrine Auditorium. We gave it the biggest event ever in the history of L.A. Everybody who was anybody was at that event. Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Mary Bradley, Nancy Wilson, Barry White, Marvin Gaye, you name them.
They were there.
Lola Falana, Jane Kennedy, Leon Isaac, anybody was at that bazaar. I mean, that was huge, bro. I mean, huge.
Really?
FOI Nation of Islam gave that one. Hasn't been anything done like that since then. At that bazaar, I think I sold hot links. Made a grip.
I bet.
Yeah.
All those people there.
All those people.
They're going to be hungry.
Yeah, man. And I wasn't the only vendor there. No bean pies, this, that, all around. But that's the way we went. That was some kind of occasion, bro. And we evolved.
We evolved, but it was also a systematic attack on the nation because
you want to get back to that attack.
Not just the necessary like the exact attacks, but just the FBI and the government taking notice to, like the police officer said to Malcolm X in the movie to Denzel when he's like, when he's doing the FOI, doing the mill, and he got the brothers to move.
Mm-hmm.
No man should have all that power, but really, no black man should be able to control men like that.
Besides us, we do that. Not you,
right? And so they took notice of that, and it made the world uncomfortable. It made the world uncomfortable.
J. Edgar Hoover was uncomfortable with Elijah Muhammad from day one, man. That's why they arrested him and put him in prison for draft dodge, although he was above the age of being draftable.
Right.
But during the Japanese War, they didn't want him on the streets with them teachers. So they locked him up in prison. And a lot of his followers went with him because they wasn't going also. And, he stayed in there and came out. His wife, Sister Clarence, they tried to get her to dismantle the schools and put these kids back in public schools. She wouldn't do it. She said, I'll die first before I
put them back in there.
Back. So she meant it, and she didn't do it. That was Elijah Muhammad's wife. Tough sister. The mother of W.D. Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
Tough brother. Worldwide teacher. Come on, the influences of it. That's why the world has grown so enlightened from what he put in the college campuses, in the minds of the FOI, which wasn't FOI at that time, but just believing Muslims, lifted them from a physical God back to the God of the universe. Explain who Farad Muhammad was, that he wasn't God, he was a witch doctor, had a bent on bringing America down. Because he's from India and he didn't like the way those Europeans was treating his people over there.
Right.
So he was a sharp, brilliant-minded, white-looking person. It looked like a white man when you look at the picture. Master Farad, I don't know if you ever seen it.
No, I've seen it, yeah.
Looked like a white man in every sense of the word, but
very fine, yeah.
Fine hair and all of that. He didn't look like no black man, originated the God of the universe. So you kind of had a conflict. You looking at him, looking at us, look at him, look at us.
Like, because that's like, this is what I went away from. This representation of not looking
Jesus.
Like, yeah, exactly.
So, but you didn't want to question it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to have hypocritical thoughts. But you'll have a natural thought and let it go.
Right.
Because he know what you're thinking, because he's supposed to be God. Oh, man, then you ask yourself, how can this man right here control the clouds and make the planets float and make the rain and know what's going on everywhere, all around the world and in the deepest part of space?
Yeah.
You start asking yourself, man, what kind of man is that? You understand what I'm saying? A man. But you left it alone.
You left it alone.
You just marvel at it. And Elijah Muhammad's son, who didn't go along with Elijah Muhammad's teachings, his own son, after a point, because he had scholars to come and teach him Arabic. And then the Nation of Islam, we didn't read the Quran. We read the Bible. That's what they taught out of. They said the black man is locked in the Bible, and we got to bring him out of it because that's what killed him, was the Bible. So we taught from the Bible, Elijah Muhammad, the ministers.
I did not know that.
Called ministers, so they taught from the Bible, and showed us different parts of the Bible where they condemning what was going on. Showed us part of the Bible where talking about us in there. That's us, because they was looking forward. They wasn't looking backwards. The prophets. If they prophesied, they can't just write about something that went on while they're standing there.
Right.
They have to prophesy something that's going to come. And he said, how can something this massive and this great and this many people in the scheme of things, in history, and they didn't see it. The prophets didn't see this. And it was bigger than anything that the world had ever seen during that time.
Right.
And no people in history was ever put under this kind of situation. Well, the Jews wasn't put under this kind, just a few people under Pharaoh. And you got to understand that one.
Right.
He said, so how could they not see us? But when they speaking, they're not speaking of them. They're speaking of
The future.
The future.
Because how can you prophesize if you ain't talking about the future?
So they use these things, and you think it's them, but it's not them. It's you.
Right.
Because you fit the description.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So W.D. Muhammad started going around college campuses and son Elijah Muhammad, waking the world up to these realities and taking us to a different level because they know it's truth that unseat falsehood. Nothing can unseat falsehood but the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you try to unseat falsehood with anything else, it won't work.
It won't work.
You know, they say in the Quran, Allah says, He created the sun and the moon, He created night and day. You know, night, of course, is where things are obscured. It's not well defined.
Mm-hmm.
And when the sun come up, you can see everything clearly. You see a mouse run across the floor, that was a rat. At night, you see something, you don't know what
it is. Second looking, trying to get.
What was that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's like truth and falsehood. Night, falsehood, truth, the sun. So these two things that God created, there's nothing you can do to alter that, the night and the day. And you can't alter truth to falsehood because one stands out clear from the other.
Right.
So once you get that balance, once you get that knowledge, and once your mind and eye open up to these realities, then that sets you above the playground. Because Satan, his thing is just on the playground.
Right.
Make believe, just play, serious play. But the light of God
It's up here.
is above it all. It elevates you. They give you that discipline, if you want it, to maintain yourself
Mm-hmm.
and practice that balance that's going to keep you there. Where you don't have to come down. And if you come down, if you fall down, you get right up.
Get right up because you know what's up there.
You know where you want to be.
You know where you want to be. Okay, so leading into your journey to Mecca,
Mm-hmm.
what was that experience? That experience, and what did you come back with from Mecca?
Well, Mecca is one of the last principles in the religion, the Hajj. It's a pilgrim of symbolism until you get the reality of the symbolism.
Okay.
You know, you go to Mecca and you circulate the Kaaba. It's the black stone there in the Kaaba that fell from heaven.
Mm-hmm. Right in the center of earth.
Right, and they placed it in the Kaaba. And millions, that's the biggest convention that the world has ever seen, is that convention, Hajj.
Mm-hmm.
There's no convention bigger than that. Nowhere, anywhere.
And that's at all times, really?
That's once a year. But you can do the Umrah. You can go there anytime you want to and do the same thing that you do doing Hajj. But it's not equivalent to Hajj, but it's a mini Hajj.
Okay. So Hajj is once a year.
Once in a lifetime.
Once a year. Once a year. And when you go on just to go, it's called
Hajj?
No, Hajj is the pilgrimage, back. Pilgrimage. But if you just go on your own.
Just to go on your own, that's called Umrah.
Umrah. Okay.
That's when you go any time of the year.
Yeah.
If you want to, you leave tomorrow and go do the Umrah.
Okay.
And you're going to do basically the same thing that people do on the Hajj.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the Hajj.
Mm-hmm.
And Hajj, like Ramadan, it's not a stationary thing that you do. It moves like life moves. It moves through the calendar year.
Okay.
It takes about 33 years for Ramadan to complete a complete cycle. Every 33 years, you complete a complete cycle, come back like the start of December. Take 33 years before it walk its way back to that December again.
Okay.
You know, so it's like life itself is moving. And first thing you do is circulate the Kaaba. Then you go and you sleep outside under the sky in Muzdalfa. It's like sleep under the sky and you gather your stones for going and stoning the devil. It's called stoning the Jamrai, but it's 7 heads, stones.
Yeah.
You throw pebbles at them, 5 pebbles at them. Try to aim for the head
Mm-hmm.
and knock the head out. But, it's the rock.
Yeah.
But it's symbolism.
Yeah.
Try to hit the head of the devil.
Right.
And then you come back and you do back and forth to Mao and Safar, run back and forth like Hagar did when Abraham took her out. Not Hagar, took Hagar out because Sarah didn't want her in the house no more.
Right.
Because she was having that baby.
Baby with it, yeah.
You got a handmaid, so you got to get her out of here. So, Abraham took her out in the desert and left her out there. So she with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she was running back and forth looking for water between Mao and Safar, 2 hills, mountains, looking for water back and forth. And Allah, God made the earth gush up water
Mm-hmm.
from the well. They call it Zamzam. Way back there. That water source never dried up.
Never
Still
dried
active
up.
right now. It's right. It's called Zamzam. The name Zamzam comes from Hagar saying, because it was flooding the valley.
Right.
She said, Zam, stop.
Yeah. Because she thought it was going to,
Flood them out. So
Yeah.
it's called the well of Zamzam. Stop. So that well, when you go on Hajj, you drink from that well. I did. Water's the best water in the world, man.
So she was pregnant with.
She had the baby.
What was the Ishmael and Isaac.
Ishmael and Isaac. She didn't have nothing to do with Isaac.
She had nothing to do with Isaac. The other woman had Isaac.
Sarah
had Isaac, and she had Ishmael. Yeah. And through the Bible, or through the Quran, it says you will separate and you will go one way and one will go the other way. Is that really what's happening at this time?
It's
because it's almost like Palestine and Israel right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like it seems like it's come to fruition all the way.
Well, it's Israelis. The Jews in the Quran, there were some friendly that accepted the prophet and lived peacefully in Medina.
Mm-hmm.
When they ran in, his own people ran the prophet, Mohammed, praise peace be upon him, out of Mecca, because they were trying to kill him. So he left Mecca and went to Medina. And he developed a community for the Muslims, because he had 13 years of peace there to establish the schools and mosques and this, that, and another. They were fighting, the so-called infidels or people that wanted to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
They never fought because they wanted to spread Islam. They fought armies because they came to kill them.
Him, exactly.
So he had to fight them.
That was the mission.
That was the mission. Not to spread anything. Islam was spread by the sword. Islam wasn't spread by no sword. You got the whole people over there in Indonesia.
Right.
Nobody wants to go over there with no sword and a battleship telling we going to make y'all Muslims.
Mm-mm.
That only went to there with trade. And they liked the way the Muslims was doing trade so well.
The spices, and
that they were so sincere, honest with their business practices that back then, that the whole country, and that's the biggest Muslim population in the world.
In India.
In Indonesia.
Indonesia. Okay.
Not Saudi Arabia, not none of those. Biggest Muslim population, Indonesia. Yeah, and you see a lot of them on Hajj when you go over there.
Okay.
A lot of people go on Hajj, they crooks. They be over there trying to
take advantage of. Okay. Yeah.
You get caught over there stealing or something, man. You get your hand or your foot cut off. Don't play around over there.
Mm-hmm.
In Saudi, especially in Mecca, and stuff. They go over there. They got the Indonesians. They got these bands around their waist because you got to put on your robe, 2-piece sheets wrap around for the Hajj. You seen them in white.
Yeah.
Called the Ithram. You wrap that up. I had to wear one too. And you put your money belt around your waist. In Indonesia, they might strap it across their shoulder like some people do. And some of them people go over there just to come up.
Yeah.
They take a razor blade and they're pushing and shoving because it's like
so
this.
tight. Everybody's so close
It's like
together.
this.
Yeah.
You're always touching and pushing and carrying on. They cut it off. And it's gone.
It's gone.
Your money's gone. You know, and somebody was doing that. The old man, old woman. And I was on Hajj over there.
Oh, old man and old woman were doing that? Really?
When I was there, had that guys getting ready to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to look down and say, if you don't turn that loose, you know. Excuse me. They looked at me and smiled, but I wasn't smiling.
Nah.
Like, well, we just playing or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
like,
But
no,
I knew
like-
God already heard the story because they had told me to turn my
In.
money back in.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it in like that, you know, because they already know what happens. So I did that. Yeah, but that's you know, you go stone a Jamrai, you throw the rocks at the heads of Satan, go to sleep under the sky. It's like they call it like resurrection, like you in your grave out there sleeping on the ground.
Right.
It's like it's symbolism, you know, like resurrection, you raise you up, and then you go stone the devil, blah, blah. Then you go to tent city, you stay there for a while, then you do your farewell circulation around the Kaaba, and the Hajj is over. You completed the Hajj. And you go to Mount Arafat.
Mm-hmm.
I left that out. And up there for a day, you get to know each other up there and talk and blah, 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 and you calm down at a quick pace and go on. Complete your Hajj. And one thing that's memorable about the Hajj is, you know, Abraham prayed in the Bible to feed him in the Quran, feed him with fruits and this, that, and other. Until this day, when you're on Hajj, that's what that prayer is still being answered with everybody to go over there that's in the Quran. And it's a great experience, you know. Most people on Hajj during that time of the year, they only open for that season.
Mm-hmm.
And they shut down their business for the rest of the year.
Oh, really?
Millions and millions of people over there. All of them trying to do the same thing. Hajj and eat.
Yeah.
And around there.
That's all they need is that season to carry them through.
Carry through the rest of it because they make so much money.
So many people.
So many people over there at once. Millions of people.
Oh, man.
Spending millions of dollars, you know. And if you do that, you shut it down for the rest of the year, you know. We met one brother over there, he was leading our little thing. We met the guy that owned a donut shop. He wanted to get to America so bad, you know. He was rich, man, you know, but I don't know why he couldn't get over here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, you know, all that money he making, man, you know, just
Right.
never stop. I don't know how their production was in the back to producing those
All that.
donuts.
Yeah.
Like then you had the Colonel Sanders up in there, halal chicken,
Uh-huh.
right up in there, you know, and you had to, they still racist over there, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
You know, that's when they come over, they racist, the Middle Easterners.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Quran tells them, and the Prophet, prayers and peace be upon him, told them, listen to your leader, even if you have the head of a raisin. You know, the head of a raisin like a black raisin head is black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they told him that 1,445 years ago. When do you get the message?
How long is it going to take you?
How long is it going to take you all this time? When are you going to wake up? See, the Muslim Umrah is one.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one over another, if it's Arab or non-Arab, black over white or white over black. Only way is your piety to God that place you above anything. Not your skin color, not your culture, not this, not that. But they can't get the message because the message is there. But maybe they're not the one
To receive.
Maybe somebody else is going to come and give them the message in a clear picture where they can't duck.
Right. It's going to be a cold day. Because
you know, who is that? The one who suffered the most going to get the most.
Right.
I don't have to say nothing else about that.
No, you don't.
The one who suffered the most going to get the pleasure of God
Right.
because they suffered more than anybody.
Anybody could get that message and understand exactly what that means.
Listen, the one who going to get the most from God
It's the ones who suffer.
is going to be the one who suffered the most for no reason other than the world saw fit
to punish
to
us.
stand on top of them, and as a people. And it's not just this group or that group, the whole world.
The whole world, all over the whole world.
All around the globe, stood on top of it. When we was in slavery, no one came to free us.
No.
No one. And the whole world knew we was here in slavery. Saudi Arabia could have came, hey, look, Americans, if you're not going to treat these slaves right, release them to us and let us give them a place
To be.
over here to be.
Mm-hmm.
They show up?
No.
And what the Quran say? Free the captive slave. We said it too. Anybody that read it, that say you believe in it.
Right. And you would know that there are captive slaves active
whole,
right now.
The whole world knew. Whole world knew. No one lifted a finger. You go to the scripture of Joseph. His brothers threw him down the well for no reason other than they were jealous of him.
Mm-hmm.
And the caravan came by and picked him up and took him into Egypt, where he became a leader.
The leader.
Who fit that description? The whole world threw us down.
Down the
when
well.
you say brothers,
Mm-hmm.
that means the whole world.
Right.
The whole world's our brothers. The whole world threw us down in the well. And the caravan picked us up, and here we are in the house of Egypt. And we're going to get the key to the grain house like Joseph.
Right.
I asked a preacher who was a doctor
Mm-hmm.
at my Harmon. It was Herman Jones at that time, but now it's Optum. He was there telling Muhammad, he said, hey, Muhammad, you know you're going to have to be a Christian, brother. You're going to get into heaven. I said, oh, yeah? He said, yeah. So we started chatting a little bit up in there. I said, let me ask you a question. I said, when they say Joseph had a coat of many colors, what exactly did that mean to you? Did that mean he was like Liberace, Elton John or something? He had a colorful coat hanging in the closet?
What that mean to you?
Yeah, I said, what that mean? He said, exactly. I said, so ever so important that he had a coat like Liberace or Elton John, a colorful coat, that God gonna print it and pass it on through time? That's important. That he had a coat like this that God gave? Yeah. See, that's mighty shallow, brother.
Mighty.
I said, could it mean that Joseph represented all of humanity?
All the colors.
He represented all of the colors of humanity? Could it mean that? You know, and then they called him on the PA. He had to leave and leave me alone because they was calling him. But
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell, yeah. You know, but I know it gave him something to chew on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
When he left up out of there, you know.
For sure.
Rather than that old colorful coat that's hanging in Joseph's closet.
Because that's an easier pill for him to swallow.
Easy to swallow.
It's an easier pill for him to swallow to think of it as a coat than it is to be
representing humanity.
Humanity through the test of time.
But that's a blessing for him because he was African American. He wasn't a white doctor. He was African American doctor. He just jumped on my name, Mohammed, and he was a preacher too, trying to help me. Well, I wound up helping him,
right?
Because his intentions was good, you know. But yeah. So you know, it's just clues and this, that, and other. And a lot of people, black people, don't feel their worth. They really, the world told them don't look this way to Islam because it's cloudy and look at them over there, blah, blah, blah. It's over there because somebody got to bring this world to true light.
Right.
Somebody.
Because the lies have been told.
Lies been told.
The lies have been told.
The truth got to knock falsehood brains out or swallow it up.
Right.
The light, they have to shine in the real sense, not in the symbolic sense. And why does that light shine? It shines in the heads of individuals. That's where it shines at. Not out in the sky up there. That's artificial light. You know, people look at sunlight and say, oh, that's light. No, that's artificial light. Real light is in your mind, in your head.
Enlightenment.
Because you could be just as stupid in the daytime as you are at night.
That's very, very true.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't have nothing working up there, a light going on in your head, what difference is day or night?
It was pointless.
Yeah. So Islam come to bring you the basics of life, starting to build your foundation so you can see what the plan of God is in your life and in our life. And we are the people. I'm going to tell you another thing. Islam just didn't find, it wasn't no accident that Islam found its way into the black community.
No.
Slaves.
Right.
Ex-slaves.
Just a coincidence.
A coincidence that this Quran just landed over here. The Bible was already here.
Right.
But it wasn't powerful enough to, it did what it could do for us, but it couldn't take us all the way. Because we still had too much happening in our life. We still had that white image of a God in our head. That had to be removed. You know?
It had to be broken. It had to be broken.
Well, they give you a flesh God in his image.
Mm-hmm.
That was a safety valve for him.
Right. To keep him relevant.
Keep him relevant. As long as you see somebody white over your life, what you gonna do, man? You better not mess up too much. Because this white man is looking at you, and they look like him and not like you.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in charge. Let's understand that. And he is in charge. Let's understand that. He got a one-up on you. Black man, brown man,
right,
yellow man. You know, we are white, and we are right. You know, so stand down.
Stand down.
You know, if I can't get you with this, I got some bombs over here too.
Exactly, because I can show you how I can make it right.
Yeah, I can make it right with these over here. So be careful. But, but when the light comes, the bombs don't mean nothing.
Nothing. Do you think right now we're in a time where we're actually waking up to the truth? You think it's
well, you're gonna wake up willingly or unwillingly. Because the truth don't wait for nobody. Me, you, President,
nobody.
Biden, Kamala, Trump. You know, ain't nobody bigger than the truth.
Truth is coming.
Truth is here.
It's here right now.
Truth is here right now, and it's busy. Because God is here.
And the word
is here. Everybody ducking and dodging right now. And most people know better. Most people that heard Islam, they know. They know. But do they have the mental capacity, the mental muscle to make their will like Jesus' will? Jesus' will was the will of his Father who's in heaven. Can you make your will go that way?
Right.
Or you just can only do it partially on Sundays and go right back out there on Mondays and get at it.
Right.
And come back up in there on Sunday and get you another dose. You can't do that for centuries.
Every 7 days.
You can't do it for centuries on. It's got to end at some point. You got to come into the reality because that sun is in the sky. As sure as that sun is in the sky, God is working his will.
God's working his will.
You know.
And have you continued to grow in your knowledge? Like, are you I guess this is my question is, we're never done learning.
Never, from the cradle to the grave.
We're never done learning.
From the cradle to the grave.
With the vast amount of knowledge that you have, even today, tomorrow you're still going to learn some new.
I'm going to learn something. Tomorrow still more to learn. About who? About yourself. That's what you learn about.
Right.
You learning about yourself. You want to know yourself. You want to know why God put you here. What's your purpose for being on earth? You got to know that. And if you don't know that, you just like instinctively moving around like the beast.
Like the rest, like animals out there.
Animal nature. You haven't evolved above your animal nature. All you want to do is procreate, eat, and frolic. You understand what I'm saying?
And the structure given to separate us from like animals and being like that is through God, giving the structure, and through the nation, you've gotten your structure and understanding. Is that where you got your base? Like, I guess I don't want to say base, maybe your foundation of fatherhood and of and being a husband.
Yeah.
Because you've been my example my whole life of a father and husband, wife and mother in the household. Was Zarifa, like, was my example, was a solid example. Did God, did religion, did the nation, did they provide that example for you?
Absolutely. It gave you the discipline to handle yourself.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? That's, you know, there's a horse, and there's a rider on the back of the horse.
Mm-hmm.
That horse is the human flesh, and the rider that's on the back of the human flesh is the soul.
Mm.
You know, I can do like this, but you can't see my soul.
Mm-mm.
You could be lying, sitting next to me when I pass away, but you can't see my soul leave.
Right.
You don't know when it's leaving. It could be leaving right in front of you. Gradually, just leaving.
Slowly.
Getting cold from the feet up because it exits up out of you. That's how the soul, it don't lead down, it leaves up. You know, and what it leave it up for? Because that's what up is high.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Most High is. It leaves, go up high to the Most High, back to his owner.
Mm-hmm.
And drop the flesh in the ground. They say in the church that the flesh is weak. Yeah, the flesh is weak because it don't have a mind.
Mm-mm.
That's why it's weak. But the soul is the master. So the flesh only gonna do what the soul tells it to do. If the soul tell you to walk over there and bust somebody in the mouth, the flesh will take you right over there so you can do it.
Right. So is it like, you know how they try to say the mind controls the body, but I think they're leaving out the soul. They always say the body, the mind, but it's the soul.
It's the soul.
It's the soul.
It's the soul. That's what's going to be judged. The soul, that old rider that's in that body, riding that horse, is going to be judged. That's why it leaves and the body go into the earth, back to which it came from.
Mm.
And they say the soul is weak. The soul is not weak. The soul is just willing to do what like a horse. The horse gonna go where the rider take it to, like a car. You get in your car, the car gonna take you where you want to go. This body gonna take you where you want to go. If it's gonna rob somebody or to do something good, it'll take you to do it.
Right.
That's why back in the day, the days of the prophet Mohammed, praise and peace be upon him, it was a guy that was known to rain havoc on society in that part of the region of the world. And when he passed away, and with his what do you call it when you take your last ride back in those days, when he went past the prophet stood for that body. And some of his people, I say, why you stand for this guy? You know this guy wasn't no good. I said, it wasn't his body.
It was his spirit. It was
his
soul.
Spirit. He said soul was obedient. Soul was obedient. You know, it don't say, I ain't going, don't try to make, it didn't do, setting up, you know, fighting and take you right on over and let you do it.
Right.
Whatever it is, good or bad. So that soul, that body is a righteous body. But that rider is the culprit of the good part of it. So you stand for that soul, for that body that's obedient and doing God's will, serving the soul. That's what God gave it to, soul to serve it one way or another. You know, serve.
And that's a life of servitude.
Life of servitude.
Life of servitude. And I try to end like my lives or whatever, like Pay attention to people out there that need help. Go out there, be a blessing for somebody else. I always try to say that because it is a life of servitude. You live in an empty life if you ain't serving a purpose or serving somebody or helping. Your household, from the time that I've met you, has fed the community. The community has always come to your house. And I mean, from all walks of life, from both sides of the city, from both sides of this, they came and ate at your house. And you fed day in, day out. I would say a number of at least 15 to 20 kids that there was always food for everybody, but everybody always came to you. It's almost like to the house for a healing.
Well, that's the blessed part. You know, my kids, and they have their own life. You give them their foundation to build with, but everybody got to find his own way. You know, just like me. I had to find my way. Thank God he blessed me to find it before it was too late. Then after I found it, I challenged it at some point.
Right.
And went him up. But he blessed me to find my way back home. Because he knew what? That I was sincere. You know, and I became a victim of my own whatever.
Your own ways.
Yeah. That I thought was glamorous. What? I mean, I'm out here hobnobbing and got this Rolls Royce and around all these drugs and these beautiful women and with the top-notch niggas in the neighborhood. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. You know, I'm up here. But it was, you know, it'll trap you and thank God.
Thank God.
It do, and it make you wake up and realize it is a life. It seems seemingly cool, but it's harmful and detrimental, and it's a menace to society.
Right. How did God get through? Because that's such a heavy distraction. Money, women, cars, all of the things that are superficial, right? But they have big weight behind them. Like what a lot of men want in life. How did God get your attention again?
Back.
Yeah.
Take it from me.
He took it from you.
Yeah.
Put
me back on the ground level again. Now start from here and see what you need to be.
Right.
You know.
Let's see how you handle this.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
Taking away everything I got was a blessing.
It was a blessing. Some people that don't have to happen to. Me, it had to happen.
It was a necessity. It was necessary.
Yeah. You know, so he stripped me. That's how I winded up back in Long Beach. You know, from this, that, and other, and all of that back there. Units, houses, pool, Rolls Royce, Jeeps, Mercedes, drugs, women, friends, entertainers, you know, hanging out, night and day, day and night, socializing, golf, all up in the hills.
And this is the time when it was booming too.
Yeah, lawyers, entertainment lawyers, contract lawyers, having parties for entertainers. I'm there, you know. Hey, it all happened within them 10-year frames up there in L.A. You know. But it seemed nice at the time, but it was dangerous too at the time. That life right there.
Violence was at an all-time high.
Yeah, it was violence. I seen people get ran out of California behind violence. A friend of mine, you know, they ran him out of here. You know, went to Atlanta. A big-time guy, you know. Told him he had to go. And he left, went down there and went to prison. Somebody flipped on him out here. You know, flipped on him, his mama, his
mama.
Flipped on the guy that flipped on his mama.
Oh man.
And his sister.
Oh damn.
And him. Because they called him big time, so he just went to singing. You know.
He said, I'm giving up everybody.
Yeah, he gave up. So the next thing I know, he in prison down in Atlanta for a stretch. From big to prison. He was in there for a minute. Got out, tried to crank it back up. And them youngsters killed him down there while he was in the bathroom shaving.
He didn't take heed to the message that was being sent.
Well, he thought it was like it was when he went in, when he came out, but them youngsters changed the whole scenario about that. You know.
And it changed fast.
Fast. The youngsters got it now.
Yeah.
Not you old timers. Y'all had it. But hey, you know, and they let you know they don't care about nothing.
Not a thing.
You know, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're talking about respect.
Whatever you talking about, they don't know what you're talking about.
Respect.
In that game, ain't no respect.
Ain't none.
You know, that's what he came back to it. He went back to that game. That's all he knew, because he was successful at it. He was big.
And that's what people gotta realize is that sometimes, losing it all is not a curse.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. Back to ground zero to go ahead and figure out who you are at your core.
And give you some building blocks for getting back. He just don't leave you naked. You get building blocks for getting back. Just keep on stepping, brother.
Keep on stepping.
Keep hope alive.
You know what I never really understood until later in life, the term y'all used to use, like keep on trucking. Like I never got it. I never got like keep on trucking, like, okay, yeah, keep going. But nah, keep on trucking has a deeper meaning to it.
Definitely.
It's a way deeper meaning. And it's like basically like pull up by the bootstraps, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. It's not like keep going good, keep going. No. Times are gonna get bad. You're gonna lose something. Keep on trucking. Seasons. That's what it is.
Earth has seasons.
Right.
It go from plenty to nothing. When Earth got seasons, got plenty. When God take it from it, it goes to get naked again.
Right.
Then we got to keep turning over to continue to come back to fruitility. You know, that's nature itself.
That's nature itself.
So that's what we're part of.
Spring.
We're part of that.
Right. So how important, because I feel like this day and age, people are losing focus on marriage and losing focus on the importance of man and woman being together. How important is being married? How important is Zarifa to the whole picture?
For me?
Yeah.
Very important. She's a strong lady. Strong. And I was lucky to have somebody like her, you know, strong. You know, even when I didn't listen, you know, she was always trying to tell me, see, I told you. You know, a lot of times, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something, a secret. Yeah. A lot of times you listen to your wife, you have to cut out a whole lot of problems in your life.
Listen to your wife, cut out a whole lot of problems.
Cut out a whole lot of problems in your life, bro. Just listen to her. Not that you some kind of Wookiee or whatever you want to call her. You know, just follow me in my
Yeah.
But you
pay attention.
She's a man, and you a man. Just maybe her mind might be a little bit more brilliant than yours in certain things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know when and when not to.
Yeah. You got enough logic, enough sense.
Well, as long as it's not threatening who you are.
Yeah. Right.
If you start trying to threaten who you are, then that's when you got to resist that.
Okay.
As long as it stay in this place, she's being who she is and you being who you are. And what she's saying is to keep you who you are, coming from who they are, go with that.
Go with that. Because they protecting.
They protecting, buddy. They look like they're trying to knock you around and beat you with something. You know what's going on. I don't have to tell you that. You know when it's threatening who you are. Stay in your place. You know, because everybody got their place. Stay in it as much as you can. You know, and they got their role, man, and they train to do it. You know, some women are trained. Just some of them are lucky enough to train. And other people have to go through training. Like in the Nation of Islam, they had the MGT and GCC class. They taught the women how to train, how to act in their home, how to act abroad, and how to treat their husband. They taught them that.
It's important. How
to do that. Because a lot of them didn't know.
Because they didn't come from that.
They come from grassroots stuff. You know, grassroots, and, you know, Nation of Islam wasn't built on a lot of sophisticated Negroes coming in there. Although they came later.
Yeah.
When they came later, they started trying to take over the nation. Because I'm like, I'm starting getting old and see now, you know.
Opportunist.
opportunity. So they see the fact come work their way in a position. At the end of the day, man, some of them cats was real gangsters on the East Coast,
Right.
bringing in drugs and everything through the Nation of Islam.
Through the Nation of Islam.
Elijah Muhammad didn't know it, but when his sons came over and took over W.D. Muhammad, he seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and he put brakes on it.
Because they using it as cover.
They using it as cover, man. Because who would think that? But the FBI, they probably knew they might have even sent them in
Set
there
it up.
to corrupt it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually they're gonna come down on you. Say, oh, look, this is what they doing.
Look at what they doing over here under this
This is
roof.
what they doing, but luckily it didn't happen because they was coming at us, get us tax evasion and everything. So Imam Muhammad, he dismantled the Nation of Islam. Says no more. Who you gonna go after?
Right.
You go after individuals if you want to, because everybody on their own.
Right. There's no more conglomerate. There's no
neutral or central head
right
for the Nation of Islam. You see, I'm not over this community anymore.
Right.
I'm only gonna run my little organization right here, Mosque Cares. All these other outland mosques and this, that, and another, they on their own.
They're their own individual.
All individuals.
Which what it is also. Like,
right.
That's what you are under God.
Right now, individuals. So if you got a leader out here in Long Beach or in LA, and he your imam, and you like what he doing or don't like what he doing, you can vote him in or vote him out.
Mm-hmm.
If he holding a fair election. He's supposed to do it once a year.
Okay.
But a lot of them don't. A lot of them brothers that's been in the nation from all their life, from a young man to old men right now. You ain't got no, what do you call it, a retirement plan?
Right.
The Nation of Islam got for you, because you done got old. You better be done something.
Taking care of yourself.
So the ones that's in there that's still old, they stand there until they return to their Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't blame them for that, because it's nothing for them other than what they're doing right now. As long as they're comfortable in doing it, not really taking advantage of the people.
Right.
But they serving themselves because they have nothing to fall back to, because there's no retirement plan. They got to be there until they're not there.
Till it's not there. Till they done.
Till they not there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then fresh blood can come up. Then you can start dealing with that.
Right.
Because most of them come from jobs and this, that, and that. You have a career and this, that, and that's coming up in there, been to college and everything else. Most of them old brothers didn't go to college.
Mm-mm. It's a different
the ones
time.
Coming in now, man, they college graduates and all of that. But we still got to learn how to create a magnet that's going to attract each other to each other. Still being a single entity.
Yeah.
But for the good of the whole, what the organizers plan.
Yeah.
For the good of the whole, but you're still an individual doing it.
But together we create the body.
Create a body that's doing stuff here and there, and blah, 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 that's good for the whole and good for the people. And the job of a Muslim is to serve humanity. Not to serve ourselves. Our job is to serve humanity. That's the job. Like Jesus came, he came to serve humanity. All the prophets come to serve humanity.
It's almost like it's just for lack of better words, I'm gonna say it's almost like it's basic. It's like I'm here to serve, to help the world. Islam, Muslim, one of them, it means to serve a higher power.
Well, I'll give it to you like this. The meaning of the word Muslim, the definition of that word, is to submit your will to the will of God. That's the definition.
Submit your will to the will of God.
That's the definition.
That's the definition.
That's the definition.
And under that definition, it's a whole bunch of Muslims that don't even know that they're Muslim.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Christians.
Right.
You call yourself a Christian, but if you submit your will to the will of God, by nature, you're a Muslim.
Muslim.
By label, you're a Christian.
But by nature
itself,
you're Muslim.
You're Muslim. Do the sun submit its will to the will of God?
Yeah.
Do the moon submit its will to the will of God?
Yeah.
Do the earth submit its will to the will of God?
Absolutely.
Everything submits itself to the will of God except what?
The devil.
The devil. everything. So everything is Muslim.
Everything is Muslim. And it's just a lot of ignorance that is running amok.
Ignorance is the thing. Ignorance is always a problem. I don't care if it's in a classroom, on a business
On a
board.
sports team, business board, anywhere.
Anywhere you find ignorance, you're going to find a problem with whoever's bringing it to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to get in the way.
Because ignorance is really just a distraction.
It's a distraction until you know better, then you can do better. That's the object. Know better, then do better. And you in the game.
The ones who are in trouble are the ones that do know better, that don't do better.
Well, you call them people hypocrites.
Hypocrites.
Because they know better, they don't do it. They're going to be called to account for that. And you better get it right before you check out.
Because that judgment is real.
Well, the grave is real.
Real as it gets.
Real
as we breathing.
That's another life you be in.
Mm-hmm.
When you enter the earth, you start a whole nother life. And it depends on how you live this one. It's how you going to live that one. You either going to live in bliss, you're going to live in torment.
I want to live in bliss.
And eternity is a long time, brother.
Never end.
Eternity is a long time. You talk about eternity. We come from nowhere into existence for a little while. We didn't exist for a long while.
A long while.
Eons. And we drop down here for a while, then we check back out again for another long while. So it depends on how you do in classroom. Because the books is open, everybody's reading, and there's no excuse for nobody.
Because you got all the access.
You got access to everything. Just go on the computer, find what you want to find. Telephone, take it with you in your car.
Mm-hmm.
You can read all the books. Torah, Bible, Quran. You can ride with you. You don't have to go home and pull over and read it.
Yeah, you ain't got to go to a certain room at your house and this and that. Like, you got it right there. You can put it on Audible. You can listen to it.
Listen to it. And just listen. That's what most people do in Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
You just listen to it. But I like to read it.
Mm-hmm. What's the to you? Like, what is the difference in the feeling, or what's the difference in what you receive from listening to reading it? Is it just like a comfort? Like this is what you like, nostalgic? Like I'm used to doing it this way.
Well, yeah, that, and also I hear myself reading it.
Okay.
And I can go back.
Oh, yes.
I can go back. I'm teaching myself. The book is teaching me, and I'm teaching myself. I can go back because, like the brother told me, if you learn to listen, then you can listen to learn. So I have to listen to what I'm reading.
Okay.
Then I can learn from what I'm reading.
And you can hear yourself in that reading.
I can hear it, that voice, because it's teaching me.
I never thought about it like that. And I do Audible sometimes. I do reading, and I always find myself to retain more when I read it, right? But just how you said, you're hearing yourself. Like the words that are being read are in your voice, in your head. That's real.
And then when you listen to Audible, if you don't take notes,
mm-hmm.
And be a good note taker, so you can go back and go over it for yourself. When you read, you can put it on pause and go back and check it out, for yourself.
Especially if you're not rushing through it. Take your time.
Yeah.
Really receive it.
In anything of anything of importance, contract or whatever, and nothing is more important than the Word of God. Why would you rush through that? What reason would you give God to tell him, oh, I was busy.
I just blazed through it.
I was just busy. I had to go take care of this. I had to blaze through this. Well, here's another blaze you can blaze through.
Here's a quick one.
Here's some more blaze. Blaze through this.
Because this is an actual blaze.
Yeah, it's an actual blaze, for playing it down instead of playing it up.
Right.
But, we learn as we get, some people learn young, but luckily they learn in time to save themselves and save their family.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it? What do you have to lose? Really, I can be me,
right,
and still be a good person,
right.
I don't need Satan in my life to enjoy God can't make me enjoy my life.
Right.
The devil got to do it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You
Other
mean
than
that there's no joy through God?
There's no joy to God. And he created all of this.
Right.
And I can't find no pleasure, joy in it. He gave you your wife. You don't find no joy in that.
Right. Right. And you know, the older I get, the more I start enjoying the more simpler things in life. The walks, the talks, the peacefulness, it's so enjoyable.
Nature.
And you like, I'm looking at it from a different aspect or a different place of just like
maturity.
Because it took so much for this to become what it is. So much time. This tree that's in front of my house, that didn't get there yesterday.
Growth.
And it's like appreciating those little small things that I'm starting to become comfortable with. You know, like those other things of the glitz and the glamour is small.
See, a lot of main things, don't be niggardly.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be selfish
Mm-hmm.
with your life. Life is a life of giving. Because everything that we have, it was given to us.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't earn it. It was given to us.
Right.
We don't fill out no application or nothing. Just here.
Just here.
For our own utility. The service.
You
understand what I'm saying? So that tell me about nature. That should tell me about me because I'm a part of nature. And the goodness of nature should rub off on the goodness in me. Because God is good and only accept good. That's from everybody. Don't try to put no religion over nothing or nobody. Don't try to put Islam over Christians and don't try to put Christians over this. Because you're serving one God.
One
God. And if you're doing a good job at it, you're going to be accepted everywhere you go. I don't care what you call yourself. Islam just come to establish itself in the land. And to enlighten what those prophets bought that you didn't quite get a grip on.
Mm-hmm.
You come to enlighten that, not to play it down, not to this. Because anytime Satan get into a plan, and he's coming.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what you plan. Satan going to plan too. But Satan plan and God plan, but God is the best of planners.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to come with, I don't care how good it is, he's going to come and jump in there and try to wiggle and wobble. And that's where Satan, where you going to find Satan at? You're going to find Satan not out there in the world where everybody's already gone.
Yeah.
Where you going to find him on the straight path? There's people trying to serve God. Them the ones he wants.
Right. He already got the other ones.
He already got them. He ain't worried about them.
They lost in the sauce already.
They lost in the sauce, brother. But these over here trying to create a purpose and straighten out humanity and this and their own life, you're going to find him on the straight path with him. He's going to lie like the Bible. I lie on the straight path, deceiving whom I will. Going to and fro up and down the earth, deceiving whom I will. To and fro up and down the earth, deceiving whom I will. What did he create? A cross. To and fro, up and down the earth. He created a cross.
Dang.
That's the path he follows.
That's the path he follows.
That's the path he follows. To and fro up and down the earth, deceiving whom I please.
And they trying to, and this would be the last thing I touch on, is they're trying to take God out of people's lives. Like access, like the seeing of it, the representation of God. And I don't even care what sector or what religion or what it is you believe this. They're taking it all.
Taking it all.
You're not driving down the street seeing marketing or seeing commercials or anything that is promoting that. I remember hearing prayers. I remember being in school hearing God, just the word God. Like it's slowly being reeled back in to where like they don't want us to. It's because they know right now is the time that we need it the most.
Just check this out. They take God out of schools. Can't teach the kids about God, but you can go in there and teach them LBGT.
Yeah.
What does that look like? I can't tell my kids about God in school, but you gonna come and put a freak up in there and tell them about LBGT?
Right.
He don't want to be what God created him to be. Like the man says, he can leave home being Jim, and in school he could be Sally.
Right.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
But we gonna call him Sally up in here.
And they won't even let you talk about it at work.
No.
But they'll let let kids talk about it, but they won't let grown-ups talk about it at work.
Yeah, how you gonna take that out of school and put that in there, man? How you gonna teach my kid, your other kids, and have cross dressers coming in and lecture them about this life?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are you telling me?
Mm-hmm.
Black ain't come right up in there and tell them about God. That's out.
Yeah.
No religion up in there. So if ain't no religion in there, God is in. The devil is in there.
Right. What do you mean exactly? What do you mean we could teach this, but we can't teach that?
That's what
if
they
you don't
say.
tell me, if you don't show me a narrative, that's definitely one.
That's it. They don't have to be no narrative. Narrative is you ain't teaching that. In the end, we gonna teach this, and you gonna swallow. That's why I that's the difference. Not to get political.
No, it's okay.
The Democrats, they push the LGBT movement, starting with Obama.
Mm-hmm.
They say he was the first gay president.
Okay.
Donald Trump don't want that
Mm-mm.
for the kids, LGBT. He want Jim to stay Jim
Right.
and Sally to stay Sally. Now, all them other shenanigans that he got going on, flipping off and carrying on, there's two major things that civilizations have gotten destroyed for.
I know exactly. Go ahead.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at point blank, Allah says in the Quran, don't kill your kids for the fear of poverty. Although Satan invites you to do blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he destroyed civilizations for
That behavior right there.
that kind of behavior.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. He left on plain sight. It was on the main road.
Don't even look back at it.
Don't even look back at that. And right now over there, that's called no life grew up out of that land over there. It's called a Dead Sea.
Right.
You pull it up. You ever pull it up, the Dead Sea?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No life grew
No
up
life. No nothing.
That's Sodom and Gomorrah down there. God flipped it up and turned it upside down, rained down brimstones on it. And you ever see something that's land just got blew up in the sky and came back down like a mighty volcano, just blew it apart from the rest of the earth? When it blows its top,
Blow the top and come right back down.
come right back down. That's what I'm saying. When it blew its top and came right back down upside down. Then he rained brimstones down on it. The heat from it, burning it.
Look back at it, turn
Ain't
to
no
a pillar
life.
of salt.
Ain't no life in there.
None.
None.
It ain't even worth looking back at.
So, man, it's a lot to be said. There's a lot to chew on. There's a lot to, but it's simple. Life is simple. Keep it simple.
The life of God is a simple life.
Simple life.
Following God is...
Keep it simple. It's not difficult. It's just, well, let's take the Muslim life. We pray 5 times a day. That's about like maybe 48 minutes or so.
A day.
That you serve to worship the Creator
Mm-hmm.
out of 24 hours.
Out of 24 hours. Not even one full hour.
Not one full hour. You give to the service of God to show him your thankfulness. You can't do it?
You watch a TV show for 5 hours.
All of that. All of that. But yeah, I can't take 48 minutes out of 24 to say thank you, God.
Right.
You know, come on, man. Let's put some money in the bank. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Mm-mm.
What is it gonna do? Nothing. But a strong achievement gonna make your inside and everything, your heart and your mind and everything feel another shot of life.
Really, the one and only true investment.
The only true investment. Good point. Only true investment.
It's the only true investment.
Yeah. You're always a smart brother. You always like about you, man. You know what I'm saying? You keep it real, man. See, you cancer like me.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, we are cancer. That's right.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah, that's in our nature, man. You know, we either take you out, cancer, or keep you in there.
Right, exactly.
You know what cancer do.
Right, exactly. And it's, oh man, I love having you here and talking and just conversating, just regular stuff that we talk about.
But you were one of his best friends, man, and I appreciate you, Jason.
Oh, I appreciate you.
I'm serious too.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you. Because I'll tell you this, I'm not who I am without you.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm not who I am without you. And so I wanted to bring you on here and just show the world, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from people just saying thank you for being transparent, open, vulnerable, sharing your ups, your downs. And like, I feel like God needs credit. You know what I mean? You know how we give praises to the Lord because he deserves what it is. It's not us, it's him.
It's him.
But also I want to give praises and acknowledgement to the men and women in my life that made a big impact.
That's gratitude.
Big difference.
That's gratitude.
And so I'm presenting it on my platform because not a lot of people have a Pops. Not a lot of people have a big Mohammed in their life, and they need it.
I'm grateful for you feeling that way.
And so I'm thankful for you coming here and sharing 2 hours of just your thoughts, because these 2 hours will live on forever. Will live on forever, and people will be able to press play and say, let me hear what he say again.
Yeah.
What? Oh, you know what? And we're going to live on forever. It's going to live on forever, your word. You know what I mean? And your word is God's word. Exactly. And so it's a beautiful thing. So I just want to thank you for being here on Reality Check with Rios, with my pops here. You know,
love it.
I love it. And you know, I love you to death, man. And so anytime you feel like coming back, or I'm probably going to have you come back anyway, but just to fellowship, brotherhood, you know, just son to father, just talking, and because we archiving great conversations for the world.
Beautiful.
So that's it. That's Ace Boy Rios, Reality Check with my pops, Mohammed, Manny's dad. And we out, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the conversation and y'all could take a little bit of the conversation and use it. Love y'all. We out.